this is day 4 of the exercise. We've been receiving reports from the various constituencies, district offices. And today I decided to go around and see for myself. I understand that there are 5 constituencies being registered here. There are a few observations I've made. One, because it's being done in the district offices, there's a lot of congestion because people are coming from all over to one point to come and register. The second thing I've noticed and the complaint is that the network is not strong. And so they are not able to do the instant online registration. And so they are capturing some of the data offline. And the danger with that, sometimes there's a repeat of somebody's name, not through any fault of his. And so I think that the EC must speak with the telecom companies. I hear they're using only MTN. Normally, you would use multiple telcos so that if one is slow, it can jump to another. So they must see how to resolve that network bottleneck so that the process can go faster. The next and most important thing is that most of the people who have turned 18, these people are between 18 and 21. I've spoken to many of them, and they don't have the Ghana card. It means that if we had insisted on the Ghana card as the only means of registration, it means all these young people I've seen would not have been able to register. Because all of them are using the guarantor system. And I asked them, do you have Ghana card? It says, no, we don't have. So I think that Parliament was right to insist that the guarantor system must be used. And I believe that National Identification Authority should up its game so that a lot of more of our people can get access to their cards. So that in future, if we decide to go solely with the card, it won't disenfranchise any person. And I'll appeal once again to the Electoral Commission. Now that we've seen the challenges, it probably is not too late to open the centers at the electoral areas because it will be easier for people to travel. I mean, for instance, Ayawaso West Wagon is here, who have had to travel all this way to come and register. They might not be able to register today. They might have to go back and come the following day. I mean, we know the conditions in Ghana today, the hardship. We know how transport fares have gone up. It's not easy on voters to be able to do that. Of course, political parties are trying to facilitate. You say we shouldn't bus them. And if somebody doesn't have money, he won't come and register because he doesn't have money for transport to come all the way. But if he were in his electoral area, it will be a shorter distance and he'll be able to go there and register. So I think we should still reconsider this issue about registering in the electoral areas. But in the meantime, I think the EC should resolve the bottlenecks that we're seeing here. 1, there's congestion. 2, the network is not going well. They registered, one of the constituencies, they registered 50 on the first day. Then I think the next day, 80. The highest they've registered in a day is 170. But if you look at these numbers, they'll keep coming every day, and so we need to speed up the process.
Respectfully, what's your personal thought on the back and forth between the 18-year-old who's taking the EC to office secured injunction, but the EC has gone ahead, secured court order, but they can't find officials to serve them? What's your thought on that?
Well, I'll refer you to a famous case. This was the Dufour case during our primaries. The EC said it had come to its attention that an injunction had been filed against our primaries. And so because of that, they will not be available. They were very proactive. I don't know why they are not proactive in this case.
I was realized that, as you mentioned, many of the registrants are students. They are in their school uniform. Some come, they are unable to register, and then they go back and return. What do you think this will be the implication on their education as they come in day out, queuing here?
Well, you'll be lucky if they come back. In some cases, they might not come back because they'll get frustrated with the process and that will disenfranchise them. And that's why we're saying that it would have been easier if this exercise had been taken closer to where their polling stations are. And that would have been easier for them. Because right now they have to give up their studies. If they are persistent enough, they'll come for a day or 2 or 3 and manage to get registered. But then they would have missed several hours of their education. So, like I said, we'll still ask the EC if they can to open other electoral areas so that it can bring the process closer to the people. If you take my constituency, Bole Bamboy, the farthest polling station is Babato. Babato is 140 kilometers from the district capital. and you say he should come and register, he should come with 2 guarantors. So he has to pay transport money for himself and transport money for 2 guarantors. If he goes that day and is not able to register, he has nowhere to sleep in Bole. Will he go back and come again? These are the practical difficulties that the EC is glossing over. Well, they should ask Parliament for the budget. We are insisting that do the electoral areas. You've not asked Parliament for the appropriation. Say the money is not enough, so Parliament should ask the finance minister to give you more money. You haven't asked, and you just say, no, we'll restrict it to the district centers. I don't think that's enough of an excuse.